Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to City Skylines, Green Cities. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be jumping in for the first time to the latest City Skylines expansion, which puts a bit of a focus on the environment, on green energy, on renewable energy, on parks, on aesthetics. It's an expansion I'm very curious about because I haven't paid a lot of attention to it. So today, we're going to begin a Let's Play where we do just that. We put some attention on the new expansion. So if you've been around the channel for a while, you might remember the last few expansions that have come out. I've always done a hey, what's new in its expansion video. That's going to happen. I'm going to give you a full recap of Green Cities a little bit later in the week. Today, we're just going to start with our city right here, the city of Greendale, or the region of Greendale, I should say, because it's not a city just yet. And we're going to start as we mean to go on. So we're going to begin in a way that will be familiar to some of you that might have seen some of my previous Let's Plays. We're going to start with a bit of a backbone for the city. And then we're going to build off of that a little bit later on as time goes by, just to make sure that we have a supply of money. I like to call this a battery. That's what I call it every single time. I refer to this as a battery because it is the battery that powers everything I'll be doing a little bit later on. That's the way I look at it. So while we're building this, I guess I'll take a moment to explain one little thing, which is that I'm currently kind of ill. I mentioned it a couple of days ago in a Sims 4 video that I'm currently kind of ill. I've actually gotten worse. I'm struggling a lot at the moment with speaking for an extended period of time, so this video is either going to be kind of short or it is going to have a lot of cuts in it because I just need to take a couple of minutes to catch my breath. Basically, I had a cold, and that cold developed into something worse, and I'm now dealing with the something worse, which is making it difficult to... I won't say speak for extended periods of time, because that's not necessarily true. I've been streaming for hours on end. It makes it difficult to speak for extended periods of time in the way that I do for videos. And you might be thinking, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, with videos, I'm sitting up straight, I'm enunciating, I'm projecting my voice. And with live streams, I sort of talk a bit more like this. It's a bit more mellow, a bit more calm, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's just a bit easier to sort of sit back, relax, and be like, oh, you know, what's happening, blah, 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 blah. And I could do that for videos, but I don't know. I like this kind of thing we got going, and I'm not, you know, live streams are like a 4-hour show. So sitting there and be like, whatever, it's fine for a 4-hour show. I don't think that's not the attitude I want to bring for these videos. I want to keep the energy up a bit for the videos. Anyway, we have our grid here. We're going to do residential, commercial, industry. We'll probably change up the ratios a little bit. In fact, I know exactly what ratio we'll do. We're going to throw a water tower into the middle there. And we're going to throw in our first new structure, which is actually the Eco Water Outlet, which is a, quote, green alternative to the standard outlet. Basically, it's a lot cleaner. It's not perfectly clean, but it does... what's the word I'm looking for? Purify the water, the sewage that comes out of your city. So it is a better alternative than this thing. So we'll throw that over there. Gonna throw in a wind turbine just there. And we're gonna bring power into the city. I actually need to move this just a little bit there. So we'll bring power into the city just like so. Coming up to that point. Connecting to the turbine, and then connecting the turbine to the pump, and then the pump needs connected to the pipe grid that we have going on. And I think with that, we are pretty good to go ahead and do some zoning. So, I am gonna slightly overdo it on the zoning, I'll be honest. We're gonna do that kind of thing for the commercial zoning. In fact, we'll do that later. We'll start with one side. And we're going to do that with the residential, and then industry in those two, and residential in there as well, and up there and there. So that's the layout we're going for. I'm going to clear out some of the tiles just to make sure that, you know, we don't overdo it to begin with. And I guess with that, we can start running the simulation. Now, initially, we are going to jump to a pretty strong negative weekly income. But that'll probably change quite quickly as the population grows. And actually, looking at that, we immediately need to go ahead and throw in... we don't need more commercial, but I'll do it anyway. We need more residential space, and we're probably going to need more industrial pretty quickly as well. So what I'll go ahead and do is, mostly because I need to catch my breath, is we'll go ahead and put a cut in the video just here, and we'll come back when I've managed to fill up all of this space. I'm just going to cut out some of the very basic stuff right here at the beginning anyway, because we've seen it a million times. We're aiming for Little Hamlet and Worthy Village. Little Hamlet mostly because we want the recycling center, which I'm hoping is a cleaner alternative to the landfill site. And then Worthy Village because we get districts and policies, which I'm very, very excited about, because we also get things like self-sufficient buildings and blah, 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 blah. We'll deal with that when we get to it. Let's put a cut in the video and come back when this whole square is full. Okay, so it only took another couple of minutes, but we became a little hamlet. We have taxes and loans unlocked, as well as garbage, healthcare, and education. So we're going to play around with those just a little bit, because obviously we want to make a bit more money. So taxes are going to go up to 11% across the board. We will need to remember to do that when we unlock high-density zoning, but we'll get there eventually. We did get loans, not too worried about that. But what I'm interested in is the recycling center. I'm also interested in getting the floating garbage collector eventually, because that will actually lessen water pollution, which I imagine would be a very good building to put in front of a bunch of water outlets. But we'll see eventually what happens with that. But what I do want to do is I do want to put in a recycling center. I want to see if it is more efficient. It also will tile really nicely there. I want to see if it's more efficient than having a... not more efficient, but I want to see if it's a cleaner alternative, and it should be a cleaner alternative. Yeah, it is. So pollution, ground pollution is 100 in a landfill site. On a recycling center, it's 25. The noise pollution is higher on a recycling center, and noise pollution is actually quite important in green cities, because... I think I read that it's changed. I think noise pollution is now generated by buildings and traffic as opposed to road type. Previously, high-density roads or roads without trees would have high noise pollution. That's not necessarily the case anymore because it is entirely based on traffic, so that's kind of a nice change. Either way, we have a recycling center here. We also have a bit of money, and we have a decent bit of money coming in because we obviously became a... whatever it was, Little Hamlet, yeah. We're gunning towards Worthy Village. That'll get us a new tile and districts and all the stuff I mentioned. I'm interested in districts because there are new policies, and I'm interested in new tiles because, excuse me, again, really can't do anything about it. I'm interested in new tiles because I'm actually running the 81 tiles mod. It's working fine with this pre-release version. I need to remember to mention that, as well as the fact that Paradox and Colossal Order were kind enough to give me the key for this to look at it early, but I think most people knew that because I'm playing it early. Either way, yeah, 81 tiles seems to be working fine without... with this pre-release version. On top of that, the Cloud and Fog toggler mod is working as well. But do be aware that a lot of mods will break with this DLC. That's just the nature of DLC. It's the way games sort of work. There's not a lot can be done about that. So just keep that in mind. That is a thing that will sort of happen. Either way, I'm thinking I kind of want to go ahead and expand what we have here. I do want to mention I'm not going to be building an entirely grid-based city later down the line. I will eventually, break out. I have 81 tiles for a reason is what I'm saying. I will eventually, break out and go off and do different things with the city and do interesting things with the city. But right now, like I mentioned, we're going for that, battery. All right, we're going for the battery because that's going to... generate, the money is going to generate everything we need for the city. So the battery's where it's at. Now let's go ahead and just connect up this space a little bit. And connect up that space. Bulldoze you. And we'll bring some power straight through just like So that should be connected. I think that is connected. Yes, it is. And that gives us room for a bit more residential zoning. So let's go ahead and just fill up those spaces. And get that population up to where I want it to be. I want to get another tile. I kind of want to build down here. Or maybe out here. I don't know. We'll pick one or the other. Either north or south. We'll see which one. Oh, hold on. Are we getting power problems? Yes, we are. That is... actually bad news, to be honest, because we haven't got any green alternatives yet. We need 19,000 people for solar, 5,000 for geothermal's not bad, and 7.5 for solar updraft isn't bad as well, but we are gonna need to deal with power in a pretty good way. Let's go ahead and move our wind turbines up onto the hill so they get 8 megawatts of power rather than 7. And we'll have 3 of them up there. Since, you know, we kind of don't want them in the path of the city anyway. So get rid of those. Actually, take those. Well, maybe they'll just go straight on. I don't know. Let's just go straight out with that for a little while. Then straight up the hill to there. Then take that over to there. Again, kind of expensive, but it means that we're nicely covered. I'm pretty sure we're also having water problems. No, we're not having water problems. It's the pipes. I totally forgot about the pipes. So we'll just fix that nice and quickly. Gonna bulldoze this just to keep the pipes oriented kind of nicely. And that should let you guys do your thing, and we should be very close to being a worthy village. Yeah, we're less than 100 away. Which will give me my first look at the new district policies that I'm very excited to have a look at. Less than 50 away, less than, come on, less than 30, less than 25, less than 10. There we go, worthy village, not bad. So what's next? Next up is tiny town, that's fine. And we get parks, all that stuff. Anything new in here? I don't know if there is. I'm not too worried if there isn't. Let's just go ahead and make this whole thing into a district because I'm really curious to see what these policies are. Obviously, we might not necessarily have all of them from the get-go with the districts, but we can at least see them in there, even if we can't activate them. And that's kind of what I'm going for. I want to be able to see the policies at least and see what they might do. So we have Summit Heights. We can click on Summit Heights, go to policies, and we have, ooh, all right. So we have recycled plastic, which is kind of makes sense. Let's see, anything else in here? It doesn't really look like it. Recycled plastic, I think, is the newest one, but I think we all know what that is. I guess it's going to be city planning is the one that we want to look for. Which is fair enough. Do we have, what is this? Office specializations. This is residential. So self-sufficient buildings consume less electricity, less garbage, but also less tax. Then this is no specialization. Okay. Then this is commercial, which is organic and local produce. They produce 50% of the sold goods locally. Truck traffic is reduced. Increased electricity and reduced garbage. Okay. I mean, that's kind of neat. I kind of like that. I'm very tempted to say self-sufficient housing. And I think, to be honest, from the get-go, I'm going to do it. I want to do self-sufficient housing. Yes, it's less money, but if we have less money coming in from the get-go, we can balance easier in the long term. The question becomes, do we want to do, like, organic and local produce from the beginning as well? I'm thinking we do. I'm thinking we try it at least. Now that is going to remove a lot of buildings, isn't it? Yeah, because all those buildings are going to need to rebuild and be self-sufficient. Which is fine. Oh, what are you? Are those those are Edison Hypercharger. Edison, I get it, because Tesla. Ah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Either way, that's clever. So that is actually a thing to take into account. There are electric cars, and they will have less noise pollution than regular vehicles. Which I kind of like. I think that's a nice touch. So this right here is the Edison shop again. It's not actually an electric car, but it is what it is. We should see a bunch of houses getting rebuilt around here. Obviously, everything disappears when we do a policy like that, but again, doing it early on is for the best. So you've got solar no, you're gone. Never mind. Are you self-sufficient? I think you might be. I honestly have no idea. Obviously, we're losing money because we need everything to rebuild. What is this? Organic dry goods. All right. Well, I'm definitely curious. I'm really curious to see how this ends up panning out. Industrial specializations, we have ore and oil. We have generic industry, farming industry. We'll probably need that. We'll probably need some farming. You're a new building. Are you going to stay, though, is the real question? I have no idea. I am slightly concerned by the fact that it doesn't seem like any houses are building and staying. Is that specialization designed for high-density buildings? I really have no idea. But I feel like we might want to take that specialization off because nothing is actually building and staying. Which maybe that's not a thing until you get high-density residential, which I guess is fair. So we'll take that off. We'll keep the renewable shops, though. We'll definitely keep the renewable shops. We'll just let everything rebuild, I suppose, and I can catch my breath again. Yay! Yay for being ill. Okay, so while that all rebuilds, what I'm going to go ahead and do is start expanding again. And obviously, as I've mentioned, I don't really want to keep the grid-based thing that we got going, but it'll be fine for the time being. Eventually, well, to be honest, this will probably end up becoming like part of the city center or something, and then we'll branch out. I don't know. I really don't want to start this city exactly the same way I've started every city before it, so I am going to make a conscious effort to not do that. I'm going to make a conscious effort to make sure the city isn't identical to every other city I've started before it. But I feel, by that I mean, obviously, it is starting like all of the other ones. I just mean I'm not going to keep the base grid that we got going on here. That's what I'm getting at. Because I realize if you've been, with the channel for a while, you'll have seen me do this like 3 or 4 other times at this point. But to be fair, it is relatively efficient, is what I'll say. I also realize the population has dwindled so much after the attempt at making them all, believe in green energy. That might not have been the best move. My population might very well have been a little bit too new to really care for green energy, but they will eventually. Oh, believe me, they will care eventually. I'll make them care. I'm also thinking they probably want healthcare, and they probably want policing as well. And we maybe have the money to afford that. $480 per week. Fire coverage as well is a kind of big deal. It's $560 per week. Medical is $400 per week. They're only complaining about policing, though. So let's throw a police station, like, I don't know, there? Let's throw it there. So we'll get a police station in. That'll hopefully stop people complaining. They do want more industry, so we'll throw industry into those 2 spaces. And the oh no, so of course something catches fire as soon as I say we don't need a fire department. We don't have the money for one. Look, you can burn. All right, you can burn. I don't have the money for a fire department. I could take a loan. Do I take a loan? Have I ever taken a loan in City Skylines? We're gonna take a loan. I think I have. I think I've taken loans before. We'll take a loan just to, get what we need here. So we'll throw a fire department there, and a medical clinic can go... Oh, what do I do for a medical clinic? Medical clinic can go there. I'm actually having trouble saying that. That's fun. But we got in all the facilities that we're gonna need. Those guys put out the fire in that building, which is fantastic news. We actually still have a bit of demand for industry. We filled up the 2 new spaces, so we'll go ahead and fill up those ones as well. And see how that ends up going. We're almost filling the residential space. Not too concerned about that. What I will do is just do that and do that so we can fill up a bit more commercial. And we probably also want to make sure to expand the district. And eventually, much like a lot of this area, the district will change. It's not just going to be one big district for this whole space, because I'm going to want to, you know, have a specific industrial area. But again, as I've said a million times already in this episode and others, 'tis just a battery. Everything will change in the not too distant future. Now, speaking of things that we need more power. So, I wonder, actually, if I go into budget and just crank the power budget, do they generate more? 10, yeah, so they'll generate 10, which, to be fair, isn't that much. So let's get another one. And that is, to be fair, the perfect spot for wind turbines up on a hill like that, so it's not the worst looking thing in the world. And we are making money too, which is great news. Absolutely a fantastic news. Let's go ahead and get more zoning in here for residential. Oh boy, you can, yeah, I'm really starting to hear my own voice giving out. I hate, you know, I'm not trying to, oh wow. I'm not trying to go for like a sympathy vote here or anything, but like, I'm trying is what I'm doing. I'm a firm believer in the show must go on, but my lungs and throat are like, maybe it doesn't need to. Maybe just this once it doesn't need to. And to be honest, you'll get this video today. You'll get a part 2 tomorrow. If I see one comment on this video that's like, yo, bro, where's that Sims 4 loving that? Where's that airport CEO? If I see one comment, I swear I'll release the hounds on you, is what I'll do. Listen to my voice and then ask me that. I can't even commit to laughing because I know what will happen. Oh boy. So, interestingly, we had a bit of a spike in commercial demand, so I changed up the way commercials laid out around here. I thought it looked kind of interesting. I thought it'd be a good way to split up districts a little bit. It means that, you know, later on I can have this be its own district or something like that. I am curious to see how traffic's flowing. It's actually pretty good. Not having too many issues with traffic. We will need to, you know, have proper entrances and stuff like that to the city at some point, but we'll do that a little bit later on. But we do have a tile to buy, so I think I'll go for this one. Well, will I go for that one or will I go? Well, we'll go for that one. That's fine. We have 81 tiles, so it's not like it's, eventually we're going to have a pretty good selection of tiles to purchase, so right now I don't think it really matters. We're eventually going to have all of them, which I'm okay with. I am quite okay with. We do have a bit of residential demand coming in there, but we do have some zoning available, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. In terms of coverage for services, again, kind of okay on that front. We do, however, have options for things like the traffic park and the boat museum. We don't have enough money for them, but we have got, as well as all of that, some basic stuff here. So 5,000 squares of self-sufficient build. Okay, so that'll give me the bird and bee haven. Bird and bee haven. Is that supposed to be like behaving? Difficult to tell. Obviously, we have some statues and stuff like that. I think I'd rather just wait to get parks. But education is something we can go for. And we have actually got a new building as well, which is the community school, which is an alternative to the elementary school. But I believe, yeah, less students and more expensive in every regard, which is interesting. But it fills in the space a lot nicer, which I can appreciate. So I am going to place that just because, boom, new building. Oh, look at you. Look at you with the grass and the roof. So fancy. It's so fancy is what it is. It's also a complete waste of money because obviously it doesn't really, it doesn't have the capacity that we need. And I'm not placing 2 of them, so. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that I guess I'm paying for the aesthetics on that. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really know what's up with the community school, but it is, it's certainly something. I like it. I do like it. It's a little bit too green, a little bit too much going on with it. The grass and the roof looks a little weird, but I like it. We'll take it. Excuse me. We are having some issues with not enough workers. Is that a population thing, or it is possibly an educated thing, actually? Because I'm noticing a lot of these places do want like 8 educated workers, so I guess we are having an issue there. Probably should have got education into the city as soon as it was available, but well, you live and you learn. We're getting very close to Tiny Town as well, which will get me landscaping. It'll get me parks and plazas, which I'm very keen for. I don't believe any of these are new. I think we already looked through these, though. But that's fine. We can get some basic parks in here. We also get the high school, which, again, we'll probably want eventually. Pavement paths and cycle paths and all that kind of stuff. Again, we'll want eventually. Don't really need them right now. We have intersections everywhere with crosswalks, and we have enough sidewalks going everywhere that I really don't think we're going to need much else. But there we go. So we have become a tiny town, which I'm fine with. That also gives us a monetary boost, but most importantly, gives me the parks that I wanted. So let's throw a park just there and a park just there. Just to boost pretty much everything. That'll give us a really nice boost, especially in the center there. We could throw some small playgrounds into the corners if we wanted to. Would probably make more sense to do them like there, though. Do we have a other than the Japanese garden, do we have a 4x4 park? No. Alright, do a dog park there. Let's do a small playground there. And we'll not worry about down here. And that should give a pretty good, yeah, that gives a nice leisure boost to everything, which will keep everybody nice and happy. Not bad. Not bad. We're getting there. What's the next goal gonna be? Next goal is 2,600, a new tile and transportation, which I'm quite looking forward to. We get recycling as a policy, which is a big part of environmental sustainability. It also helps keep the neighborhoods looking tidy. With a small investment in recycling, technologies, and waste containers, you can make your city neat. Reduced garbage and reduced tax. Okay, and then recycled plastic. Recycling centers work with plus 20% efficiency, cost 100 per recycling center per week. Okay. I mean, that's to be expected, so it is what it is. Oh, hello, we get biofuel buses? I did not know about this. I'm okay with that, though. Biofuel buses, absolutely. And wave power plants. Gonna want one of those as well. Speaking of power, we do need to get a... why am I going so hard on the power? Wow, that just caused my mic to go crazy. I do apologize. I was going really hard on the plosive there. I don't know why. Not really sure what was going on with that. I just got really carried away with the power. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. When do we get high density stuff? It's like 11, it's 7,500. Okay. I mean, that's fine. We haven't unlocked anything else in here. We do get, we get you at 19, we get you at 5. So 5,000 for geothermal. And then where was the wave one? Where was the wave one? I've completely... it was a power thing, right? Wave power... yeah, ocean, the ocean one. That's what we're going for. All right, fair enough. I mean, that's doing its thing is what it's doing. Now, we have a big demand for residential zoning, so let's go ahead and just expand again. We can expand upwards this time. So 2 that way, then the whole way across to there and down. We want one-way roads going that way and that way. Then roads going vertically all the way up to there. That one is not right at all. And I guess what I'll do here is we'll change up some of this zoning. So that gets removed and replaced. That gets removed and replaced. That is all going to be commercial and all residential. Then I need to change this one-way road as well. So that's actually one way going up. That's one way going across. And one way going down. And then that becomes a two-way road. And I think we're good. All right. So they're obviously going to need water as well. So just the whole way around like that with pipes going vertically because I like to keep things kind of uniform as much as possible. And just like that, we should be able to deal with that residential demand very, very quickly. Shouldn't really be too much of an issue, is what I'm thinking. Definitely shouldn't be too much of an issue. Do I need to... Yeah, I do need to expand the district as well. I don't know why I asked that question. I kind of knew the answer to it while I was asking it, but there you go. I feel like that's a really common thing, though, isn't it? Like, maybe that's just... It might just be a commentary thing. Maybe I'm biased because I sort of need to, like... I present a question, then immediately answer it for the effect of providing commentary. So maybe I'm biased, but I feel like a lot of sentences are structured with, like... Well... I guess fundamentally a lot of language is structured around questions, right? Don't know where this conversation's going, but the point is language is largely structured around questions, but I feel like a lot of the questions are questions that people know the answers to. Am I just... What am I doing? What am I even talking about here? Like, what's the point of what I'm talking about here? I have no idea. I have no idea. But there you go. It is what it is. That's the thing that I just did. Just completely questioned what I was doing. Now we are having some issues with sewage availability, so let's go ahead and throw another one of these guys in. And also water availability as well, so we'll throw another one of these in. Just up there. And I want to move this one. So just like that should do the job. Because pollution was getting a little bit close to it. I'm not too happy about that. Not too keen on the idea of people drinking polluted water, so I definitely think doing something about that's probably not gonna hurt. Are you having power problems? Yeah, we are. All right, well, I guess we throw another wind turbine up here, which is gonna solve those power problems. And I have to say, I think we've got a pretty good start here. We're getting real close to being a boomtown. I think we'll push for boomtown and then wrap up today's episode. I was originally planning on putting out 2 episodes today, but excuse me, don't think that's gonna happen. Just given the state of my lung. It's not both lungs, it's just the right one. Good old righty there. I don't know if you heard me punch my own chest there. It wasn't a good idea. Good old righty is giving me some jip at the moment. Not too happy about that. Apparently you can also... Hold on. Schools out, parks and rec. Yeah, why not? We'll go with that. Apparently you can turn off, like, district overlays or something. I don't know. Is that, like, an option? I haven't checked this. Hide far away. No, yes. Yes, do that. Absolutely do that. Also turn on dynamic weather, because that's kind of nice. We'll leave day-night cycle off for the time being, and I think that's probably fine. So, we don't actually have... Hold on, your notification. Oh, it does! It does! It finally hides notifications when you're not near them. Oh, I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy about that. That's such a good change. That's such a good change. I'm so happy. I really am legitimately pleased about that. So here's a question. Am I going to get to 2,600 people, or do I need to zone more? I really don't want to have to build more space to just get to 2,600, but it's looking like I might. Because we don't actually have that much space. We might not. It's slowly getting there. I'll get there quicker if I zone, though, so I guess we're gonna zone. Let's go ahead and, oh, hold on. Maybe not. Hold on. I might not need to build anything. We might just be able to let the money grow, and then at the start of next episode, we can go ahead and deal with this demand. Am I making any sense? I feel like half the words coming out of my mouth are just mumbled and, like, not words. There we go. All right. We got the biofuel bus depot, which I'm super excited about. So much so that I want to know how much it is. Ah. It is expensive, but probably not a bad idea. So biofuel bus depot can go there. I'm going to put some paths around it just to nicely accent it. And I also want to see what it happens to look like. So let's just get like a general bus loop going around the city here. So there, there, and there. There and there. Actually, there and there. Then there. There and there with that spot and that spot, and that'll do. All right. I want to see what these look like. Are they different? Oh, hold on. They are. Okay. I approve. I absolutely approve. Not bad. We do seem to be having power problems though, so let's just real quick deal with that before we wrap things up. Is that going to solve my problems? Not quite. Is that going to solve my problems? Yes, it is. We didn't unlock anything here, did we? No, we get you... Wait a minute, what? Did I miss something? Am I missing something? Wave power plant. Oh, that's in here. It's in this, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, there's not really a lot of waves to generate power though, but we could throw that down. I believe it's clean, right? It is, yeah, noise pollution's a big deal, but that seems like a good idea. I just one there. And maybe inland a little bit as well. So like that. Then I guess we do that kind of thing and connect it over. So that'll give us a lot of power for quite some time. Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, I guess, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it for today. Again, apologies for being sick, but there's really nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. It is the life I currently lead. Oh, God. And I really wish I didn't, is what I'll say to that. Because I really want to just keep playing this, but I don't want to play it without recording, so I'm going to record this and then just go straight to bed because it's 2 a.m. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines Green Cities Part 1. It's a new series. I'd appreciate y'all showing some love. And I'm ill. I'd also appreciate y'all showing some love. Either way, thank you kind of for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!